Hey, Minecraft video here. Today I will be giving you a single player commands tutorial. Single player commands is just a really helpful mod, especially if you're one of those people who likes to be creative and make massive, epic builds and stuff like that. I mean, the creative mode in vanilla Minecraft is all well and good, but sometimes it just takes a little something extra. So the command I'm showing you now is light, which, since the sun's up you can't see it, but that would add light to the game. And then this command, noclip, which obviously allows you to pass through blocks as if they weren't there. These commands are just two very important commands that I use always, just every time. I use them all the time. So right now I'm setting a waypoint, and the thing about a waypoint is, in this massive, infinite, I guess, world, you don't want to lose the pretty house you've built, so you set a waypoint, and then if you get lost, you use the go to, and then the name of your waypoint command, and that takes you right back there. So now I'm going to show you how to bind commands, and binding commands is important because, like I said, some of them I use all the time. So the light command has been bound to the key L, as you can see, bind, then the key, then the command. And I can just turn it on and off with a simple press of the button. And the kill all command, just demonstrated that there, obviously kills all the entities in the world. They do respawn eventually, but, that works for some things. Works for a while, don't like those guys. So this next command I'm going to show you, something I also use a lot. I didn't bind it, but I do use it. Drop store. And that basically takes everything in your inventory and puts it into one large chest. It's a great command for, like, clearing out your overcrowded, overstuffed inventory. Alright, I am back, and I am going to continue my single player commands tutorial with a demonstration on how to use it to build things. So the most basic element you need is a wand. Type the command you see in and you get a wand. Wand is used to make cuboid selections, which basically you select one point and then you select another point, and all the blocks within that area are selected. So as you can see, I just selected a little square on the ground, used the set command plus a block ID to turn it into iron. But you can also use the selection to make one with some depth. So you can see I selected a point up on that tower there and a point on the ground, and I used a different number and it made an obsidian box, as you can see there. So another part to this would be like, say you wanted to make a walled in area, but instead of using the set command to make 4 separate selections, you can simply select a cuboid area like I did, and use the /walls command, which I'll type here in a second. There you go. And it's, as you can see, it just makes walls around the edge of your selection area. But so this obsidian box right here, it's solid, it's filled in, it's not a house. I can't do anything with it. So say you want to make a house really fast. You make a cuboid selection and give it some depth here. And instead of using the set command, you can go ahead and use the outline command. And there you have it. I made a glass enclosure, and you can see it's not filled in completely with glass. It's just a glass enclosure, and you can use any other thing. I could use 42 to make an iron house, whatever I need really. So the last command I'm going to show you for building is the stack command. To do this, I want a good demonstration, so I'm going to make another cuboid selection, another little room, if you will, and I'll show you from there. Basically, I know all of these commands is a lot to remember, but all you really need to know is how to use the set command, because that's probably the most important command in the entire mod, and it's what I use more often than any other command. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a little room here. I'm going to light it up so you can see. Pretty dark, pretty moody. So I put some torches in there. And I don't like the grass, so I'm going to give it a floor. And I'll use 35, 12. Nice brown carpet. That's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so I have a little room, torches, floor. Now I have to build a staircase. You can see I've got a couple of mods installed. Might be hearing about some of those later. Wahaha. Alright, so I'll just start a staircase going up the side here. All the way to the top of my house. Room, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so we have that. And I want to add a little decoration to this room. A chest, probably a workbench, and a bookcase. Just to give it a little purpose. Because right now it's just an empty room with some lovely brown carpet. Yeah, I'm not an interior designer. But anyway, we have our chest, our workbench, and our bookcase. And by now, you guys are probably thinking, why are you showing me all this? This is stupid, but bear with me here. This is very, very important for the purposes of the stack command demonstration. So I'm adding a window now, in case you were wondering about that. Just because I like windows. I like to have some natural light coming into my house. Alright, now we can start. So I get out my selection tool, and I'm going to want to get a block of iron because since I'm in creative mode, when I select the area, it breaks the block and I just fill it back in. And I select the other part, and now I can use the stack command. Stack, and then followed by a number, and then a letter. And so yeah, as you can see, it stacks the selection area you made, the number of times you said after stack, so in this case I believe it was 4, and then the letter is a direction. You have north, south, east, or west, or up, or down, so those letters. And I said U for up. So I stacked it 4 times up, which means I now have a house with 5 floors. It's really, really cool. You can make some just massive, massive skyscrapers this way, or, you know, just whatever you need. If you need to copy something over and over and over again, it's incredibly easy. Okay, so the last thing I have to show you in my single player commands tutorial is how to use single player commands to ungrief. So I'm going to be a griefer today. Got my fire charge, which in case you didn't know is basically a flint and steel. And I'm going to light this pretty old house on fire because I'm a griefer and yeah, I don't care. So how do I extinguish this if I'm an admin? I use the extinguish command. EX. See? Fire's gone. No damage. Well, there's damage, but at least it was limited as much as possible. So let's say your griefer uses lava and they just pour it all over your church because they're atheist. Well, how do you get rid of that? It can be really, really frustrating to try and fill it up with dirt or whatever you do before you got single player commands. So you go right into the middle of the lava, you type in drain, and like the screen says, you have to include a number, which is basically a radius. So that just drained all the liquids within 12 blocks of me, which happened to include the lava I was standing in. And that's how that works. Now the last thing is, it's not really a degriefing thing, but say you're on a server, or I mean you're adminning a server, and the number of trees start to dwindle, which they sometimes do. Instead of, you know, taking up all your time with planting new trees, you can use the forest gen command to create an entirely new little patch of forest. And I'll make another one over here. You can also add arguments which will change the forest type. You can have a rainforest or birch forest, anything you want. Alright, that concludes the end of the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.